On today's episode of WGTV, we take a look at a statewide teacher pay raise panic, but more specifically on how Prosper ISD is going to handle it. We celebrate Walnut Grove's first Teacher of the Year, and finally we take a glimpse at how golf players at the Grove are getting into the swing of their season despite freezing and rainy weather. These stories and more on this episode of WGTV.
Good afternoon, Wildcats, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of WGTV. Live from the Grove, I'm Millie Salinas.
And I'm Tyler Medeiros.
We have many exciting stories coming up, but first, Tyler's going to catch you up on what's been happening at the Grove. Tyler?
Thanks, Millie. Tonight is the deadline for next school year's course registration into Skyward, and February 1st is the deadline for dual credit, so make sure to get everything turned in on time. Meet the Wildcats for the spring semester is tonight from 7 to 8:30 in the arena. Come out and cheer for our spring semester sports teams. The newly established Walnut Grove bowling team is looking for recruits. Practices are held one night a week as a team, and matches against other high schools are on Saturdays. No experience is required, just a love for the sport. If interested, contact Tammy Rodden at the number 469-323-3607. Again, the number is 469-323-3607. Our DECA team traveled to Irving for their district competition, where more than half of our competing students advanced to state. The Walnut Grove DECA chapter was also awarded the new Chapter of the Year award for 2023 to 2024. State will be held on February 15th through the 17th in Houston. Our HOSA team also had their area competition at Rock Hill on January 19th and 20th. 16 students had advanced to area, and of those 16, students Soraya Thomas and Jacqueline Lee qualified for state. HOSA state competition is being held from April 3rd through the 5th in Galveston. Hardee's Cafe is serving Mexican cuisine on January 31st and February 1st. To sign up to visit, click the link in Mr. Toth's newsletter. Additionally, Hardee's is holding a 5-course chef tasting menu event February 10th at 6 p.m. with performances by the Walnut Grove Orchestra. The event is $65 per person. Scan the QR code for more information. Prosper ISD's floral design classes are holding a district-wide fundraiser for Valentine's Day, where you can order arrangements that will be delivered to students on February 13th. All orders are due by February 1st. PCIS applications are now open and close at 4:30 on February 2nd. All applicants must attend one of the 3 informational meetings being held from 6 to 7 p.m. with their parent or guardian. The January 30th meeting will be held in the Rock Hill LGI, the 31st meeting will be held in Walnut Grove's LGI, and February 1st meeting is in Prosper High School's LGI. Student Council is hosting a stuffed animal drive to donate to Children's Medical Center. Donations can either be made to Miss Armstrong's room in 1217 or at varsity basketball games on February 6th. Empower Her is running a drive for Genesis Women's Shelter in Dallas. Any sealed feminine products can be donated. If interested, drop off products in Mrs. Smith's room 1114. The drive will end February 9th.
In 2023, Texas lawmakers were left in a stalemate over many important school-related bills. Jackson Kongursky takes a look at how Prosper ISD is going to handle a statewide teacher pay raise panic.
Last month, Texas lawmakers left Austin without passing any bills related to increases in teacher pay, money for school safety, or a proposed private school voucher program. This action is causing many school districts to take precautionary measures, including Prosper ISD.
Prosper ISD and all the schools in Texas are funded and are what's called formula funded based on the amount of students in attendance with the school, and we're very dependent on that formula, and it really drives all of the financial decisions that we make. The challenge with the state having the surplus budget that they had of over $32 billion and then not allocating any of it to schools provides immense challenges for school districts. We haven't seen an increase in funding since 2019, which means it becomes very difficult to increase the amount of funds we put into programs and salaries of our staff. Funding raises and taking care of our staff is priority number one, but we do have limited resources, so it is a disappointment for us to see the surplus that the state had and then none of it to really come down to schools. When you have the funds, we can apply them to lots of different areas, but without them, we have to continue to try to make do with less. And we know our dollar doesn't go as far as it used to because the cost of everything is increased exponentially.
So that's how the district is going to handle this situation, but how will the students at Walnut Grove and other areas in Texas be affected?
I believe the state not passing, that is very bad because they potentially ruined the chance for teachers to get more pay, and they work very hard to make sure that students are prepared for the future and teach them new things every day, and they deserve all they can get because they work really hard for it. For lower income areas or schools that are not as nice as Walnut Grove will have a harder time, but I believe in Walnut it will not affect me or any of the students as much.
It seems there may be no end to this pay raise panic until Texas lawmakers meet again in 2025, or if they call an early meeting known as a special session. Reporting for WGTV, I'm Jackson Kingerski.
Prosper ISD is looking into budget decisions to overcome these challenges to continue to support our teachers to the best of our ability. Last Thursday, Walnut Grove announced its first ever Teacher of the Year, Miss McClendon. Emma McQuitty takes to the halls to celebrate this teacher.
Miss McClendon is Walnut Grove's DCIS and DECA teacher. However, she does more than just teach.
Well, I mean, Miss McClendon played a huge role in not just our success, but really all the people who qualified to states, because there are a variety of different events, and she was able to help each person in their event by providing them not with like technical knowledge, but she was able to help them mentally and give them sort of that confidence boost right before the competition.
Miss McClendon not only helps people reach their goals in the academic sense, but she also is a steady rock to rely on.
I think Miss McClendon does a great job of building relationships with kids. I think she always puts them first in everything she does. She builds really strong relationships with them, has a great rapport with them, but also sets the standard really high for them, and they really want to work hard for her and achieve those expectations that she has for them.
Miss McClendon's students see her as a teacher and a mentor.
I just think that everyone should at least have a chance just to meet her and talk with her, and even if you don't completely know her, you should just go and ask her questions and just introduce yourself, because she will absolutely be one of the greatest people that you will actually meet in Walnut Grove.
This special teacher continues to have a lasting impact on her students. For WGTV, I'm Emma McQuitty.
Congrats to Miss McClendon on being the first Teacher of the Year at Walnut Grove. Olivia Cook is here in the studio to catch you up on our spring sports. Olivia?
Thank you, Millie. Starting off with cheer. Last week, our cheerleaders competed in nationals in Dallas both Friday and Saturday. The girls competed in the crowd leading division, not only winning first in their division, but they got the highest score in the nation, giving them the grand champion title, dethroning two-time winners from Brandon, Mississippi. Now for basketball. 2 weeks ago, our boys traveled over to Frisco to play Lebanon Trail, winning the game 91-40. Later that week, they went on to play Independence, losing barely 47-50. And last Tuesday, they played Memorial High School at home. They had kept the score close throughout the game and won by 4 points, 57-53. And finally, this past Friday, the boys traveled to Centennial, where they once again won 57-52. Tomorrow, boys basketball will be playing home versus Emerson at 7:15. The girls also played Lebanon Trail, winning their game 51-30 over in Frisco. The girls' next game was on the 19th with a large victory against Independence, winning 42-19. This was followed by an unfortunate loss on the 23rd with a score of 18-57 against Memorial High School. But our Wildcats picked back up again, winning their game on Friday at Centennial 56-16. In boys soccer on the 19th, they went to Panther Creek, winning 4-2. Last Tuesday, they played at Liberty High School, taking back another win 4-0. Last Saturday, the boys took another win, this time against Lebanon Trail 2-1. Their next game is tomorrow at Independence. On the girls' side, they faced off at Liberty High School and won a game of 3-1. Last Friday, they again traveled to Lebanon Trail and ended up tying with a score of 1-1. Look out for next Tuesday, where our Wildcats are up against Independence High School at 5:30. Last weekend was the District 5A Swim and Dive Championship. In the dive portion, Luke Sitz took first place, Derek Colbert took second, and Deegan Colbert took third, all three of which being our very own Wildcats. Both the boys and girls took home the district title championship in the first year of competing, so congratulations, Wildcats. And next up is the regional championship. Swinging over to golf. With recent temperature drops, it's hard for outdoor sports like golf to practice. Luckily, the team has a trick up their sleeve.
Walnut Grove is a top-tier environment for athletes to practice and become skilled in sports they have a passion for. When the temperatures drop, however, it can cause problems for actual gameplay. Of course, sports like football have indoor and outdoor facilities, but games like golf have to face closure of courses due to snow and harsh weather. Here at the Grove, however, the golf team has a solution.
So the simulator is a really neat tool that we get to use on days that it's raining outside or the weather's not nice. we can still feel like we're, almost on the golf course and getting some productive practice done.
On school days, if we're not at the golf course, which is General Creek right down the street, it'll be there in our simulator room, just where we meet. All of us go out there, chit chat up, talk about what we might do throughout the week, throughout the months.
The simulator also provides analysis on every shot, displaying the ball's speed, trajectory, and spin.
It determines your club head speed, your launch angle, your ball speed, how far the ball's carrying, how far it's traveling, and all these different factors. And so it's really a neat tool to help kids figure out, okay, what do I need to work on? How can I gain some distance? And what are my numbers? And where should they be?
The prevalence of technology in training opens the discussion of how technology benefits all levels of play.
I would say technology is used on a daily basis, especially the more advanced you get in golf. Even as simple as using a rangefinder to see, okay, how far am I from the pin? If you're getting clubs fitted, and that's what I see a lot is I have kids coming in at 14. By the time they're 18, they've grown, they've gotten stronger, and so that technology helps them understand their data and what kind of clubs might fit them better.
Walnut Grove strives to provide necessary equipment and funding for all sports and activities.
I'm super grateful of our district leaders that they understand that every kid deserves the opportunity to be successful, and they provide us all the resources and tools to do so. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten to really practice. It's been pretty miserable outside, and we have a tournament this weekend, and so it's just given us the opportunity to feel prepared and almost feel like we have an upper hand of we're going into this tournament and we've been able to practice.
We're super lucky and super blessed to be able to have that simulator in there and have that resource.
Through advancements in sports technology, Walnut Grove and their athletes are able to adapt for unexpected weather changes and are given in-depth analysis in the comfort of our school. Reporting for WGTV, I'm Tyler Medeiros.
The future of sports looks bright, with professionals and students alike having access to technology that will shift the way they train. That's all for your sports recap. For WGTV, I'm Olivia Cook. Back to you, Millie and Tyler.
Thank you, Olivia. That's all we have for today's episode of WGTV. I'm Tyler Medeiros.
And I'm Millie Salinas. Thanks for watching, and remember, Wildcats, set the standard.